Hey guys, welcome back. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
We're going to talk about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Okay, again.
Again?
Again.
So Disney had an earnings call earlier this week, I believe, or last week.
No, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday? It was yesterday. We should know we're stockholders, and I didn't even get the memo.
I'm pretty sure it was yesterday.
But I did notice that the Disney stock was dropping. I'm like, what is going on? So we did a video earlier today about Disney's plans to reboot Fox properties like Home Alone and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and also that their stock is dropping. But it's not just their stock that's dropping. The attendance in the theme park is dropping.
Not just Disneyland, though, right?
Not just Disneyland. That's what's surprising. We thought it was just Disneyland.
Galaxy's Edge is open at Disneyland, but it's not open in Walt Disney World yet. That's at the end of this month.
Right. It's not just Disneyland. The attendance is also dropping in Walt Disney World, and Iger admits that it could be a combination of the ticket price increase and also competition from Universal.
Well, and I think it's also a case of you didn't open with all the rides ready.
Yeah.
And now the Rise of Resistance, which is the big one, isn't opening to the end of the year at Disney World and next year at Disneyland.
A lot of people probably postponing trips.
I would.
Yeah, they're like, we're not going to go if it's a half-ass park, you know?
If it's not all there, I'll wait till it's all there and then I'll go.
Right, especially for people who only go once every few years. You know, maybe it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing for them, and they're like, we're going to go when it's all done. So this backfired. Galaxy's Edge backfired colossally, and we're going to talk about that in this episode, but please subscribe if you haven't done so already. We talk about pop culture news and views. We rant a little bit. We have a lot of fun here on Clownfish TV.
Try to.
Really appreciate the support, so thank you so much for that. So we've been following the Galaxy's Edge drama because we do talk about the Walt Disney Company.
We do a separate Disney Parks blog. Besides doing our Clownfish, we do a Pirates and Princesses blog about Disney Parks.
Yeah, we're actually longtime theme park bloggers.
Yes.
We actually have had a podcast that was pretty popular. We ran
It was like this, but only about Disney.
Yeah, it was only about Disney.
It was a podcast that said, actually he had Neon say at one time about they were joking how they're going to sell fast passes for the bathroom. So...
yeah, we don't take ourselves too seriously there. We ran a pretty popular Disney-focused theme park blog for years. Been involved in the media side of Disney, so we kind of have a little bit of an understanding how all this stuff works. And I gotta tell you, as someone who's been watching the theme parks for years, like this is a mess.
Yeah.
This is not a good look for Disney.
And the fact that he admitted it, I'm surprised.
Yeah, so...
Because do you remember when people were pointing it out and showing the video, everybody called them liars?
They called them liars.
They were like, oh, was it USA Today or somebody there was that called them liars and stuff, and they actually put
USA
the video...
Today actually...
They put the video up, didn't they?
They put up an aerial view of Galaxy's Edge about how empty it was because all these Disney defenders were like, that's impossible! Like Luke, getting his hand chopped off. They couldn't believe it. But I'm telling you, and Disney needs to start realizing this, Star Wars is damaged goods. They spend $1 billion on Galaxy's Edge, and the franchise is in decline. I'm not saying it's going to be a complete bust, but the toys aren't selling. Solo was a bomb. The Last Jedi was not well received by the fandom. There's not a lot of excitement around The Rise of Skywalker, judging what I've seen. So people are just like making up rumors now to try to get people pumped for it. And Galaxy's Edge brought less people to it than Universal's single Harry Potter coaster.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy. If you had asked me 5 years ago what kind of traffic there would be to a Star Wars themed land in Disney, I'd be like, oh my God, they'd be turning people away.
Right.
But now that Star Wars is damaged, it's just like, whatever.
If they had gone with the classic trilogy and bet safe, I think they would have been okay, but they didn't. So.
Yeah, and there was actually a video out there of they were talking about doing a do-back ride.
Yeah, they were working on it, but they never
did it. So they probably at some point, probably were planning on doing an original trilogy theme for this, which would have been the smartest move. But Disney, they didn't do the smartest thing. Instead, now they're faced with a decline in attendance. And the theme parks, people don't understand, the theme parks bankroll like the rest of the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, it does. If movies do bad, theme park stuff goes up in price.
Right.
It's just the way it is. And it's getting to the place a lot of people can't afford it, which is probably part of the problem.
Yeah, so it's not just, the Disney detractors, the naysayers. I mean, even well-respected theme park publications are talking about how catastrophic this is. So Disney park attendance falls despite Galaxy's Edge debut. Attendance at Disney's domestic parks was down 3% in the company's fiscal third quarter, even though the ballyhooed Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was open at Disneyland for part of the quarter. Speaking during the Disney earnings call on Tuesday, you're right, it was on Tuesday, Bob Iger gave multiple reasons why attendance was down at Disneyland. People are probably wondering because it's all over the media. Where Galaxy's Edge has been open since May 31st, he said some guests stayed home in anticipation of crowds.
I don't buy that. A couple of reasons. One, they blackouted the dates for people that had annual passes. Since Disneyland is a local park, that was dumb. And two, the crowds are down. It's been since the end of May that the crowds have been down. People already have heard the crowds are down. So they would be coming in. Like, oh, look, light crowds. I can get on the rides. You better believe they're going to come.
Yeah. People weren't going to pay full price for it. They weren't going to pay extra to go to Star Wars. It's not worth it. Star Wars isn't worth it. Star Wars isn't worth what it used to be worth, Disney.
Which is sad to me, because that just makes me sad.
He said some guests stayed home. Okay, additionally, the land opened with only one attraction.
Well, the hotel, they said area hotels raised their prices, and we know Disney did.
They jacked their prices up because they thought Disney doesn't understand how little give a shit people have for Star Wars now. They really truly think Star Wars is an IP on the level of like Marvel when they've damaged it. Disney has damaged the Star Wars brand.
When we did that one convention, there was a quest, and you could ask questions to get like prizes and stuff. And my mom was asking people like, different things they knew. Well, how much do you know about the new Star Wars? Oh, a lot of people. I don't watch the Disney ones. I mean, I can't tell you how many people said that. So many, and I was surprised.
Yeah, so all these factors, there's only one ride open. We talked about that. All the factors contributed to attendance that was below what we hoped it would be. Iger said, that said, guest satisfaction, interest in the attraction in the land is extremely high.
Explain why you laughed about that.
The reason that, he's trying to put a positive spin on it because people are grilling him. Bob, why is all the media talking about what a failure Galaxy's Edge is? Oh, well, the guests are satisfied. Of course they are. When they only have to wait 5 or 10 minutes to go on Pirates of the freaking Caribbean, they're going to be pretty happy.
Well, I would be happy. Laughing too about that seems to be that the way that is with Disney is you're not allowed to give any negative news without giving positive news to offset it.
And it continues. He added, we feel great about the product we've created, and it's going to just take some time for things to work themselves out in terms of how the marketplace is reacting. By that time, suckers, I'm going to be out of here.
Yeah, the thing is...
Good luck with that.
They said that that's only down 3% in, is that attendance or is that in revenue?
That is attendance, I believe.
I'm surprised it's not down more. I'm thinking it's more than 3%.
Well, the revenue, attendance is down. The revenue is up, so we don't know.
I know what's going on. They keep raising prices on stuff. Yeah. Now you have to pay for parking at Disney World. Food prices keep going up, creeping up. $1 here, $2 there. Souvenir prices have gone up $1 here, $2 there. They keep raising the prices. So they're like, look at all the money we're making profit because we're nickel and diming the people that are there.
Yeah, well, they said right here, attendance, is down. Per capita was up 10% thanks to higher admission and spending on merchandise, food, and beverage. Per room spending at domestic hotels was up 3% and occupancy increased. The parks achieved record revenue in the third quarter, she said, but operating income declined due to lower attendance and higher costs. So that's the thing, too. They're building all this new stuff at Disney right now. If you've been to Disney World, especially, they're building new hotels, they're building new rides, they're doing the gondola system. All that costs money. So every time they build something like that, they jack the rates up. And like Geeky was saying, every time a movie bombs, they jack the rates up. Now you have to pay to park at the hotels. Now you have to pay.
They raise parking in the parking lots. They just keep doing this. And what's going to happen is, and what is happening is people just can't afford it. You've reached peak insanity where people are like, I can go to visit, I can take 3 vacations and the cost it'll take me to take 1 to Disney. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. And this is from somebody who's pro Disney parks. I think that they're reaching insane levels of expense. I really do.
Yeah, it's getting to a point where it's not worth it anymore. It used to be that Disney, I do love the parks, but it used to be a point where it was like, it was expensive, but it was worth it. It was expensive because it was a unique experience. And you could justify the expense because you really couldn't get that kind of experience anywhere else. And people are like, just go to your local theme park. No.
It's not the same.
It's not the same
I'm going to tell you straight up, it's not the same. I still love Disney. It is worth going at least once. I love it. We go as often as we can. I don't like what they're doing though, and I don't think it's fair to families. But I did like what they said here at the end, and I do think this is part of it. Is I think people are waiting because why go when only one ride's open? If you're making one trip and spend that much money, you're gonna wait till both rides are open.
Yeah, and that was a huge miscalculation. And because they waited so long to tell people when they were opening Galaxy's Edge, people plan their trips a year or two in advance.
Most people do. And it amazes me how Disney and people associated with Disney can't wrap their heads around the fact people will not just drop thousands of dollars for a trip and like with a month's notice.
Yeah, right. Because the people who can afford these trips have jobs, presumably, or they're independently
they usually take a year or two to prep for their trip.
Right. Even if they have the disposable income, they still have to request the time off. They have to make plans if they're going with a large family group. These vacations are not an impulse buy, and there's a difference between Disney World and Disneyland, where Disneyland is more of an impulse thing because it's mostly locals. Disney World, these trips, run people $10,000-$15,000 sometimes, and they take years to coordinate. And this is a huge miscalculation. And then throw in the fact that the interest in Star Wars is not there like it used to be.
Well, and Universal's bringing it.
Somebody mentioned that during the earnings call, and Iger kind of dodged it, but they asked if it said Disney World. Disney said that survey data suggests that fans were postponing their visits.
Because of the park.
Because of Galaxy's Edge, yeah. Though in later questioning, Iger said perhaps Universal Orlando's discounting over the summer might have affected Walt Disney World's attendance.
Yeah, because they were doing buy 2 days, get 3 days free or something like that.
They were doing some crazy good deals.
Free. It was some ridiculous good deals.
Meanwhile, Universal opens the Hagrid coaster not long after Disneyland's opening of Galaxy's Edge. They have 10-hour waits for the Hagrid coaster. Universal, now I think they're going to wait until the weekend of D23, but they announced their new theme park. They did not announce what was actually coming to it. They're going to wait to drop that Nintendo is officially coming to Universal until D23 weekend.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because I just did a story on our Pirates and Princesses blog about the fact that after Universal made the announcement they made on the 1st, they took the D23 schedule and put in that there's some super secret Disney announcement going to be made on the 22nd of August during D23. Now, I guess a panel about it, it's not till the 24th, but they're saying the announcement's going to be made on the 22nd. No one knows what it is, but it's some super secret Disney parks or Disney something announcement. And they added it the day that Universal.
Yeah, they're not going to build another park. They're tied up for the next 4 or 5 years. Disney's they're getting ready for the 50th anniversary of Disney World. They're building several new attractions all over the park. They just dropped $1 billion on Galaxy's Edge. To put that in perspective, all of Epcot cost $1 billion. And it almost bankrupt the company back then. So they don't really have the capital. They're also in debt. Disney's also in debt big time because of Fox and because of Disney Plus. They don't have the money to build another park right now.
I love this comment. I love this person. This is funny. I love this quote. Iger also blamed higher prices being charged by Anaheim area hotels for discouraging attendance, as well as the fact that Disney opened the land with just one ride. It was the hotel prices that drove them off, not the multiple price increases in Disney tickets and annual passes. I was a Walt Disney World pass holder from 2017. I don't know if I'll ever renew because it's just not the same anymore. Too expensive and everything just feels like a money grab. Yes, and that's what I mentioned. I mentioned several times on here and in the other blog. I don't think people used to be treated like the valued customers, and now you feel like you're a walking dollar sign. I mean, you really do. You don't have that
you're an
whole
ATM.
Appreciation feeling you used to get. Like you go in there and you just felt like, you're a valued customer and they're happy to have you. And I'm not saying that the cast members don't make you feel like that. The cast members do a great job considering how crappy they're paid. But what I'm saying is, for Disney company as a whole, I feel more like a walking bag of money than I do, a customer they're trying to, make sure I have a good time.
Yeah. This person here said perhaps Universal Orlando's discounting over the summer might have affected Walt Disney World's attendance. Is this a first? Can't they ignore the big blue globe anymore? They can't, especially Nintendo coming. I'm sorry. Nintendo comes, more people are going to be pumped about Nintendo than they are about Star Wars.
Yeah, so I
Disney
think you're right.
Can't ignore it, and I'm sorry, Disney, you don't look. It's kind of like what with the meme with the hot girl walking by. And I'm sorry, I use that. Universal's looking way better. It's way better for families. They're building hotels at Universal that are under $100 a night.
Yeah, they're way less than your value resorts.
Yeah.
It's like you need to stop, and you need to stop rebooting everything, and you need to stop treating people like they're infinite piggy banks, and just start doing better. Just be better. And that's what I keep saying. But so anyway, are we gonna wrap this up now?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up, but this is not surprising at all. What was surprising was that Disney World was down too, and I think we're gonna see this in the fourth quarter too, because they just jacked up the annual pass rates, 25% for Disney World. They're doing discounts. They're doing a free dining discount, which is usually panic.
They've done that a couple times this year, haven't they?
They've done it 3 times in 1 year.
Usually they do it like once,
happened.
maybe twice. They're doing it. They're doing all the panic signs. And if you go to the Disney Parks blog, you can usually see what they're trying to push by what their articles, and they're pushing cruises, Alani in Hawaii, and they're pushing Galaxy's Edge.
All the
Those
really
are the 3 things they keep pushing. One thing I'm excited about, though, and I won't get to go to, is the Haunted Mansion 50th anniversary this month at Disneyland, and I'm like, dang it, I would have loved to have seen that, but oh well.
We'll get you out there.
I love the Haunted Mansion. Anyway.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this one up. We'll keep our eyes on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, because I think it's a pretty good indicator of where the general public is with Star Wars right now, and it's not in a very good place, I don't think. So,
I don't think so either.
All right, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.